leaders to have somewhat of a mindset shift, a paradigm shift, a thinking shift on this topic. And while there is a place for, I guess, charitable efforts, I think C-suite leaders should think of this issue of sustainability as more in the domain of strategy and as a profit center or a profit driver, and thinking about and then starting from the design space, not from the end product space. Don't start with the systems and processes that are sort of already there, but actually maybe backtrack and think about the origin and find ways to extract waste out of your processes and systems to drive efficiency, and that's going to drive profits. That's going to widen margins. And then on the back end of that, you can tell that story to customers and potential customers from an authentic space. Look at what we've actually done, to be more sustainable. Instead of trying to do the marketing on the front end and the real, sustainability efforts may not ever, come. So that would be my primary suggestion.
Excellent. And now that you talk about customers, what's the role of customers in this space? How do you think customers could help?
Well, I mean, customers, not necessarily they can be driven by a certain, let's say, agenda. They're going to help us, right? In general, everything in our world that is going on around us, it's driven by the customer's demand. It's not by the regulations, it's not by the governments, it's nothing by the whatever you're going to invent and you're going to put it out there that the customers won't just buy it right away. It's actually the customer what they want. So it's in a certain way they actually help that way just because of they are asking for that stuff. They're asking for the change. And now we can see the new generation, let's say, of today's kids, right? I mean, I have three of my own, so I can kind of relate because they're already 19, 17, so they're already driving, right? And you can, from the driving aspect, for example, that they first of all didn't know how to drive stick shift, right? I grew up on a stick shift. And now even they start learning how to do the backing or parallel driving. They're depending on the technology in the vehicles. So all that stuff it's kind of demand in the future that today, for example, I recently spoke with one 16-year-old kid and I asked him which you would like drive. Do you want a Tesla car or electric car, for example, or you want a muscle car from 70s or 60s? Well, they want a technology. They're moving away from that. Yeah, they understand the value of those vehicles, right? But they want something new. They want some novelties. So the customers, and I believe so that's the impact of them is going to be their demand, what they want.
Excellent. I'm gonna speak to you a little bit about some final thoughts and what is an actionable step for the companies that want to implement sustainability. And I want to go back a little bit into history, maybe 50 years, and remember some key terms that is going to close with an understanding. We began speaking about sustainability maybe in the late 80s, early 90s. Recently, with the Kyoto Protocol, we began speaking in Rio 92 about sustainability, as a global agenda. And maybe we change swift the word into resilience back in 2010, I don't know, well. And now the word that we are using is regenerative approach. So it's super interesting because I'm a very rebel guy. I have a lot of tattoos in my body. Maybe you can see it right now, but I think that the most rebel thing you can do right now is get consciousness about the system that is not working, And now we can see trends in regenerative agriculture, for example, in regenerative economy. So these crypto bros, what they're doing, how this blockchain thing is emerging from a parallel system, that is controlled by a centric approach to a decentralized approach. And regenerative medicine, how we cannot, or how we know that I'm 40, I know that I don't have a pension. Probably when I'm gonna be 80, I won't have a health system that works. So I have to, use my own resources to solve those things. And regenerative approach is the approach that we are using in order to be independent from systems. And I think that how can your company be regenerative? How can your business model can align to regeneration? Because otherwise, the planet is not gonna have resources for us, and probably is gonna eliminate us. The planet doesn't have the problem. The problem is humanity. And if we want to be in this planet for maybe 1,000 years more, we need to change our behavior. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm gonna give you space if you want to have some questions for any one of us. This is the moment.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think that sustainability has to be a strategic decision, not a marketing decision, And when you put this as a strategic decision, it's part of your DNA as a company, no matter if you're little or you're big. Because at the end, you're going to understand that efficiency is cheaper. And no matter what size of company you are, that's the way. And I really think that if you think strategically about sustainability, you're going to understand that in the short term and the long term, it's a good play.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think sometimes when I say we, I mean everybody, all of us. Sometimes we get caught up on labels. Sustainability is a label. It's an important label, but it's a label. And I think really what it boils down to, though, is efficiency. And I think all business want to be efficient because that has a direct correlation to your ability to make profit. And so if you're a small startup who wants to stay small, or small startup who wants to grow big company, doesn't really matter. I'm sure you want to be efficient, So how can we be more efficient? I think should be a question that's being asked within that startup. And then on the back end, a separate question is, how can we tell the story of how efficient we've been?
I mean, from my perspective, right? Since I'm already in a let's say in a green energy sector, right? I've been for almost a decade, and I'm a small startup, as you mentioned. So, and of course, looking and growing to become bigger company, but I do everything in a slow pace. The problem that I see in mistakes from, let's say, that I experienced from the previous companies I work with, that everyone wants to do it like on a fast pace. Fast pace requires a lot of money. When you do a lot of money, then you have a big overhead burn, and if you do not find yourself in a position that you want to be, well, in the past, let's put it just this way. In the past, let's say, I don't know if you know the statistic, but 23 and 24, 150 solar companies got closed in the United States. Why? Well, it was something that was going on with the loan and Federal Reserves when they increased that 0.5% of an interest rate, which basically really destroyed their financial path to do that. So in a certain way, you just need to kind of slow pace yourself, see in which the direction actually this is developing, not just go to those online, let's say, certifications that you can kind of just slap the label on it on yourself and put yourself in trouble. I'll give you an example. We were just kind of, Henrik and I were like checking it out about the greenwashing companies, for example, like IKEA or Kering, right? They're saying that their coffee pods are recyclable, which they're not. Or let's say hefty plastic bags, right? That they say they're coming from the recyclable resources, which again, they were not. So that's all kind of just misleading, and that's what we are talking about. Transparency is important, right? Not to put yourself into the situation where you can actually, the government can go up behind, after you, or you're going to find yourself in some ridiculous lawsuits because you made that kind of like label on you and then jeopardize your actual success of your company.
That's a great question.
Thank you. Any other question? So thank you very much for your attention. We'll be around.
Thank you. Let's say, Ronnie, let's make a picture together.
So much to our panelists. Another round of applause to our panelists. Thank you very much. So as we conclude an incredible day of insights and discussions, we now turn our attention to honoring extraordinary achievements. Our recognition session this evening celebrates those pioneers who have not only excelled in their fields, but have also driven transformative change across their industries. Let's pause to recognize and applaud remarkable dedication, innovation, and leadership of these distinguished individuals and organizations. I'm excited to welcome Mike Ross, founder of Executive Director and Future Forward of his company Future Forward Education, to the stage to help give out these awards. Come join me. Right over here. Yes. So to start, we will start with our gold sponsor, Rochelle Rutherford, CEO of Kids on the Move. Rochelle is not here, okay. So she is the only sponsor being recognized here. So we will move on to these awards, starting with April McCon. April, RN and entrepreneur, is the co-founder and CEO of Lasting Legacy Rental, LLC. While serving as a nurse manager at the VHA in St. Louis, Missouri, she earned a Master of Christian Ministry and a Master of Administration. Driven to help families, she took classes in education to equip herself for property management and rentals. Congratulations.
Thank everybody.
Thank you. Congratulations. Next, he asked me to call him Dev, but I will say his full name, Debashish Mukherjee. Was that close? Dev is the clinical assistant professor at the University of North Texas. He has 20 plus years of experience implementing consulting, developing, and delivering projects, programs, and products for major Fortune 500 and global corporations across sectors. The extensive experience is underpinned by a multidisciplinary background spanning business, IT, law, and data science. Congratulations.
It's a real honor to be, to be given this award. I met some fascinating people, heard great stories. I'm after having worked for about 20 plus years in industry, and I was pretty high up in the business. I gave it all up after COVID, and I've turned into an educator. So now I'm at the intersection of research, innovation, and industry partnership. Developing the next generation of leaders. So my students are going to be, the CEOs of tomorrow. So I look forward to working with you, and hopefully coming up with partnerships with one of the largest universities in this great state of Texas. So thank you.
Congratulations. Next, we have Erica Hansen. Erica, founder, CEO, and CFO of Accounting Transformations, is a seasoned finance and accounting executive with 25 plus years of experience. She specializes in accounting and organizational transformations, providing fractional leadership, project-based support, and startup consulting to help businesses scale and stabilize. Erica is also a speaker, author, and trainer, empowering business leaders. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Myself and my colleagues have been enjoying the conference very much and getting to learn all about all of your businesses as well. I always like hearing the journeys of leaders and founders, and I would love to connect with any of you that would just talk about it. I hope to talk to you all soon, and thank you so much for the honor.
Congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Kirti Srinivas. Dr. Srinivas is a Senior Director of Bioprocess Development at Blue Nalu Incorporated. With over 8 years experience in sustainable processing, fermentation, and bio-based product development. He is a published chemical engineer with an index of 14 and an active member of societies like American Chemical Society. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's quite an honor. I'd like to thank everybody who I've worked with, who I'm currently working with, to make me improve more and more my skill set. I'm really enjoying the conference here, and listening to a lot of conversations, a lot of business leaders, learning a lot. The learning never stops. So really appreciate everyone.
Next, we have Michael Misterka. Is Michael Misterka here? No, I will move on. Nathan K. Fakuri. Nathan, President, Founder, and COO of Driver Network, Inc., Secure Auto Transport, Inc., and Chicago Parking Solutions, LLC, is a serial entrepreneur who has expanded businesses into 17 North American cities. Now, he is focused on global business expansion and supporting individuals with traumatic brain injuries.
Thank you so much. I want to thank CXO. This was a great conference. I made a lot of connections with a lot of great entrepreneurs. I also want to thank my beautiful wife for all her support. She's been here with me, dealing with all this, just kind of being in the background, helping me with everything. So I love her support and everything she does at home for me and our kids. And my brother as well, and the light of support in my life, always filling me with constant positivity and just always being my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. So thank you to my brother Isa. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Next, we have Preeti Dubey. Preeti is a globally recognized leadership coach, trainer, and speaker dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations. She is the founder and CEO of Strive High PTE Ltd., a leading soft skills consultancy and training company. Under her leadership, Strive High has transformed the landscape and soft skills training in more than 20 countries across various industries, including shipping, banking, insurance, technology, and civil services. Her training workshops on leadership, emotional intelligence, women's leadership, mental health, and psychological safety have gained immense popularity. Preeti is passionate about bridging the gap between technical expertise and interpersonal competencies. Her commitment to providing unparalleled soft skills training and consultancy services has set the gold standard for the industry. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, everyone. It's a huge honor to be here on the stage and accept this honor in front of such accomplished leaders. I come from Singapore, and as I